Park in Houston, Texas. Fox Sports Houston brings you Houston Astros baseball. Tonight, the Astros meet the Texas Rangers for the final time in 2011. Good evening, everybody. Bill Brown and Jim DeShays. The Rangers 4-1 against the Astros. They've already clinched the Silver Boot, and they're also in first place in their division, JD.
Pretty good chance they won't be trying tonight. They've already won that boot. Maybe the Astros can take advantage. Pitching matchup is a good one tonight. A couple of talented left-handers. A young Matt Harrison, hard-throwing left. He's got a very good changeup that allows him to compete quite well against both left and right-handed hitters. There's a changeup right there. You see what he's done over his last 5 starts, 2-2 with a .184. Wandy has been solid as well. Had that little hiccup last time out against Tampa Bay. Really had one bad inning. But other than that, he's been on quite a roll. 3-1 with a .97. His ERA, he has started once each of the last 2 seasons against the Rangers, and neither one of those games went particularly well.
Last night, the Rangers won a close one, 3-2. Now tonight, as the series finale comes your way, the Astros try to get things rolling with the Red Sox headed in this weekend. We'll see the finale with the Astros and Rangers meeting in just a moment.
Fox Sports Houston is brought to you by the Progressive Insurance Group. For a money-saving car insurance quote, call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE today. It is interleague baseball once again. The final game of the series between the Texas Rangers and the Houston Astros from Minute Maid Park. The Astros have taken the field, and we'll see whether the Astros can win one out of this 3-game set. Let's find out from Bill Brown and Jim DeShays in the booth.
Thank you, Greg. And here's the starting lineup for Ron Washington's defending American League champion Rangers. Ian Kinsler leads off at second base. He hit 2 homers last night. It's Elvis Andrus returning to the lineup for the first time in several days. He's the shortstop batting second. Josh Hamilton plays left field with Adrian Beltre, the cleanup man, at third base. Michael Young's at first base. David Murphy of Houston plays right field. The catcher is Yorvi Torrealba batting seventh. Craig Gentry's in center field. And it's lefty Matt Harrison on the mound.
Well, Wandy Rodriguez works for the Astros tonight. He's made 13 starts. He's 5-4, having a winning record on a team that's having such a rough year. That's pretty darn impressive. 3.21 ERA, rock solid as well. A little hiccup last time out, but overall he's been very, very good. Defensively, Michaels gets a start in left field, and that slides Carlos Slee over to first base. Jeff Keppinger a little under the weather today. He was a late scratch. Angel Sanchez is going to get a start. J.R. Tolles back in there behind the dish. CJ had the night off last night. He too back in the lineup at third base. Keep an eye on this guy. He was big last night, and he's got crazy good numbers against Wandy.
2 homers last night, 11 for the season for Ian Kinsler. That first one is ball 1 to Kinsler. He's hit 3 homers in this series, and he's driven in 5 runs while going 4 for 7. He takes there, and it's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Todd Tichenor is the home plate umpire. That was the 4th leadoff homer this season for Kinsler last night, and he's 9 for 13 against Wandy Rodriguez. 2 balls, 1 strike. Rangers are 3rd in the American League in runs scored with 380.
Kinsler, one of the best leadoff men in all of baseball. Doesn't have a big batting average, but the on-base average is pretty high, and he brings power and speed to the position.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Also a keen eye. He's drawn 49 walks. That ranks 7th in the American League. On Washington's Rangers have outscored the Astros 26-17 in the 5 games they've played. Elvis Andrus is on deck. Rangers go right back home, and they'll be meeting the Florida Marlins in a weekend series starting tomorrow night. In interleague play, they are 8-6. Kinsler went after it, and he wound up with nothing but air. An opening strikeout for Wandy Rodriguez.
Kinsler got a little greedy, saw that elevated fastball, and he's got that little bit of an uppercut swing, and it's almost impossible with that kind of a swing to handle a pitch up there. If you're a guy who swings down on the ball, you might have a chance of getting to that one, but that swing is not going to do very well against that high heater.
Elvis Andrus with 3 homers, 30 runs batted in, and a .278 average, has been out with left wrist sprain. Had to leave the game Friday in the 5th inning with that injury, going headfirst into second base. So he's been out for a few days. First action of this series, and he looks at ball 1. Andrus is 3rd in stolen bases in the American League. That was ball 2, and it's 2-0. .278 batting average for Elvis after hitting .265 last year, and he was an all-star last season. That makes it 2-1 for Wandy Rodriguez, who's 3-2 in his career against the Rangers, with a 6.49 ERA in 5 career starts.
And 1 a year. Pitched against him in 06, 7, 8, 9, and 10. In the last 2 years, he's not made it beyond the 4th inning. Obviously looking for improvement there last year. About this time last year, he got beat 9-3 by the Rangers, worked 3 innings, allowed 6 runs.
Roy Oswalt with 4 wins is the all-time leader in this Lone Star Series. Wandy can tie him tonight with a victory. It's 3 balls, 2 strikes. Rangers are 5 games over 500. They have a 1.5 game lead in the AL West coming into play today. That's poked over first base and up the right field line. Andrus, who is a classic number 2 hitter, takes it the other way for a 1-out single.
All together now. A nice piece of hitting. A high fastball he rides the other way. We'll take a look at Wandy. Tight, compact delivery. But he left that one up, and he paid a price for it. Wandy last time out against Tampa Bay allowed 5 runs, had really 1 bad inning, and he had a run of starts, 9 consecutive starts that saw his ERA go down than prior to last time out. That's hard to do.
.290 for Josh Hamilton with 8 homers. He's driven in 36 with a .517 slugging percentage. He homered in the opener of this series Tuesday night. He's 2 for 9 in the first 2 games. And the throw goes over because Andrus, with 22 steals in 25 attempts, draws that kind of attention. J.R. Tolles, returning to catch for the first time in several days, has thrown out 4 of 35. He's had 11 stitches in his chin. And 7 for 8 for the base Steelers against Wandy Rodriguez. Rangers are second in the American League with 75 steals. And they're 4 for 5 in the games against Houston in stealing bases this year. This is the 11th Lone Star Series. Rangers have won 8 of them. A strike to make him 1-1. And they have played exceptionally well here. Hamilton has been held to a .212 batting average by left-handers.
He catches the inside corner with that breaking ball.
Runner takes off. Swing and a miss. Tolles with the throw. It drifts. And there's a stolen base by Andrus. Number 23. Pitch for strike 2. The count's 1-2.
Talked about this last week in Arlington and again here in Houston. The Ranger club is so dangerous because they're not one-dimensional. Years ago, the Rangers could beat you with the long ball, and they had a lot of sluggers, but they didn't have a lot of team speed. Now they do it all.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Hamilton. And missed 5 weeks with the shoulder injury on a head-first slide at home. The reigning American League MVP has thus been slowed by that injury and the time it took to get back into form. Now he's worked the count full. Hamilton is a .376 career hitter against the Astros with 8 homers, 24 runs batted in.
0 for 4 last night. As a matter of fact, the only real damage was done by the top of the order, Kinsler and Blanco last night. Everybody else pretty much shut down by Myers and then Wilton Lopez.
Breaking ball struck him out.
And Hamilton now just 2 out of his last 14. Changing that angle on the breaking ball during that sequence.
The cleanup man, Adrian Beltre, with 57 runs batted in, ranks 4th in the American League. He has 14 homers and a .262 average. Could be an all-star this year. We'll know about that on Sunday. Beltre's 2 for 9 with an RBI in this series. In the dirt for ball 1. Ron Washington should find out tomorrow about which players have been selected by the balloting, which is ending tonight at 11 p.m. Central Time on the part of the fans, and also the players' vote will be coming in, and then he'll begin to formulate the choices that he will have. Runner takes off for third without a throw. An easy steal for Andrus. Now gives him 24 for the year, and the pitch was ball 2.
Not a percentage play to steal third base with 2 outs, but you saw nobody made him stop one. He didn't really pay attention to him, wasn't worried about him too much. Just puts a little extra pressure on JR to make sure he blocks that curveball down in the dirt.
That comes in for strike 1. It's 2 balls, 1 strike to 32-year-old Adrian Beltre from the Dominican Republic. Very important guy for the Rangers, especially at the time that Josh Hamilton and Nelson Cruz missed with their injuries this year. Ground ball to shortstop. Glenn Barmas takes care of a third out. And the Rangers first with no runs, a hit, and a runner stranded at third, no score. Brad Mills' lineup card filled out this way for the game tonight. Michael Bourne's in center field. Angel Sanchez was a late substitute for Jeff Keppinger, who had to leave the lineup with nausea. Hunter Pence is in right field. Carlos Lee at first base. Jason Michaels gets the call in left field against the lefty pitcher. Chris Johnson's at third. Clint Farmer's the shortstop. J.R. Tolles the catcher, and Wandy Rodriguez the Houston pitcher.
25-year-old southpaw Matt Harrison for the Rangers tonight. He's got a break-even record at 6-6 through 14 starts with an ERA of 3. That's pretty darn good. When you pitch your home games in that ballpark in Arlington, he's induced 18 ground ball double plays. That's most in the major leagues.
It's 6 in one game. Michael Bourne leads it off and fouls at strike one.
But he's not just, he can sink his fastball, but he's not a guy that really gets a lot of ground ball outs. He just knows how to pitch for him, I guess, when the situation calls for it.
I guess so. Michael Bourne's on an 8-game hitting streak.
Good lively fastball. That looked like a little cutter there. And Michael's trying to figure it out. He's looking, he just said 87. What was that? That wasn't in the scouting report. I don't remember 87.
Well, Michael has improved his hitting against left-handed pitching in recent weeks. Since May 6th, he's hit .321 against lefties, going 18 for 56. And he lays off that pitch for a 2-ball, 2-strike count for Harrison, who's walked 34 in 84 innings.
Fastball will sit right around 93, 94 miles an hour. Slider, curveball, changeup.
Kinsler moving to his left. Throws over to Michael Young, 1 out.
Rangers defensively have Hamilton, Gentry, and Murphy. Boy, that's a good defensive outfield they're running out there tonight. Beltre at third. Andrews will dazzle you at shortstop. Kinsler rock solid at second. Michael Young, primarily the DH, but in a National League park, playing a little first base. And Torrey Alba, the catcher, throws pretty well.
Angel Sanchez looks at the fastball. There's strike one to the second baseman. At 250 with 1 homer, 20 runs batted in for Angel. It's a 1-1 count. Harrison has no decisions against the Astros in 3 career appearances with a 3.38 ERA for Matt. He's from Durham, North Carolina. Foul ball makes it 1-2. Harrison will turn 26 in August.
He's part of that Teixeira deal. Brought Feliz and Andrus over as well from Atlanta. Atlanta willing to part with some big-time prospects to get Teixeira. And they were in go-for-it mode, and they needed that big bat.
Those big-time prospects are doing very well.
Yeah, it's kind of like the Randy Johnson deal the Astros did. You know you're giving up good players, and you know you're going to watch them perform probably for a long time at a high level in the big leagues.
Ground ball third. Beltre. 2 outs.
But if you're in the same position, would you do the Randy Johnson deal again? Absolutely.
Harrison, catcher Jared Saltalamacchia, who now is with Boston. Andrus. Feliz, the closer. Quite a package.
I think Bo Jones is the other one.
Don't know Bo Jones.
Yeah, I was reading about that deal. He's pitching down at Round Rock with their AAA club, but Bo Jones was a first-round pick of the Braves in 2005. So,
okay,
a guy that they obviously at one point valued highly.
Hunter Pence grounds, and there's Andrus in front of it, but juggling, and now he won't get him. And it's an error on Andrus, his 15th of the year. He got over in front of it, and then his hands betrayed him.
Well, I talked about Andrus when we run around the horn there defensively, and I said he will dazzle you, but he has had his problems as well. As Brownie mentioned, that's error number 15 for Andrus, so he's certainly capable of making the sparkling play, but he's also had some issues out there.
And the Rangers as a team have. That's their 64th error.
You can't fault the technique. Got down, stayed low. Maybe could have gotten the glove out in front a little bit better, but couldn't make the play.
Carlos Lee takes a look at ball one. 267 for Carlos. He hit home run number 6 of the year last night, and he's driven in 43. He's hitting .329 against southpaws this season. 4 of his 6 home runs have been in this ballpark. That's tied for the club lead here. 2-0 to El Caballo, and he has a home run and a 2-for-3 career performance against Matt Harrison. That home run came back in 09. Harrison last year was 3-2 with a 4.71 ERA. Made 6 starts and 31 relief appearances for the Rangers. He's 22-16 lifetime as a big leaguer.
He's got to make a pitch here. You have to fight the mindset of I should be in the dugout right now. I got a routine ground ball to short. Yeah. Should have had a nice 1-2-3 easy inning and heading in for a cold glass of water.
Well, that mindset has been trying to infect the minds of Rangers pitchers most of the year. They've allowed 42 unearned runs. Same number as the Astros. 3-1 now. Carlos, a former Ranger, batting with Jason Michaels on deck. These splits are reverse splits, as you might have noticed on Harrison. Right-handers hitting 218, left-handed hitters 299 against Matt. And maybe one answer to that is that his changeup is very effective against right-handed batters.
Yeah, now why lefties are having success against him, I don't know, because that has not been the case in the past. A lot of times with a lefty, the reason why lefties hit him good is because you only face the best left-handed hitters when you look at that batting average against.
There's a walk.
A lot of left-handed hitters will sit down against a tough lefty, and so maybe the ones a guy like Harrison faces are the best left-handed hitters in the league. I know back in my day, Tony Gwynn never took a day off against a left-hander. Keith Hernandez, Mark Grace, those types of hitters, they hit everybody. So if they're the only left-handed hitters you're facing, odds are you're going to yield a pretty high batting average.
Jason Michaels has 2 men on with 2 outs with a 208 batting average, 1 homer, 5 runs batted in for J. Mike. This is his 13th start this year, his 12th in left field. He's hit 270 against lefties, 10 for 37.
So an early opportunity here as Andrus opens the door with the error. Harrison doesn't respond, walks Lee. Astros having a hard time winning here in their home ballpark. Would love a nice fat crooked number early.
They've lost 8 in a row here. They're 13-30 here. 0-2. And the Rangers have won 8 straight ball games here at Minute Maid Park.
Now, and the Astros showing all the signs of a pressing club. You know, they don't walk a lot to begin with. But in recent games, boy, it seems like they've been willing to chase a lot of bad balls just to try to get something done. Get over anxious in RBI situations.
1-2. Harrison's last start was a good one. He beat the Mets Friday 8-1, giving up 1 run on 7 hits in 7 innings. He has extra rest with the off day, 5 days rest, and he's had great numbers with extra rest. Now it's 2-2. The Astros have dropped 5 in a row and 19 of 24. They are 0-5 on this homestand, which concludes Sunday. The Boston Red Sox, for whom Brad Mills was the bench coach, will be the opponent this weekend. That's strike 3, and the first inning is over on a Harrison strikeout with no runs, no hits, 1 error, and 2 men left. No score after 1. Pacer history. Flashing back to June 30th, 1962, the first year of the franchise. The Colt 45s defeated the Reds 7-3. The game was called after 7 due to fog, and Houston manager Harry Kraft was able to make it to the hospital for a very important event in his life, thanks to that fog. Michael Young leads it off, and there is strike one as the second inning begins for Wandy Rodriguez. Michael's second in hits in the American League with 101.
Mrs. Kraft had some pull.
Line drive toward the right field line. That loops in for a hit. Hunter Pence is able to prevent it from going any deeper. And there's hit number 2 of the night for the Rangers.
He is a hit machine.
He really is. 322 lifetime against the Astros before that one.
And a whole lot of line drive singles the other way. Every now and then he'll turn on a ball. But he's got that good stay back and shoot it the other way approach that you see with a lot of high average hitters.
David Murphy of Houston and Baylor University has a man on as he bats. And there's ball one. David came in to play a little left field in the late innings last night. 233 is his average. 4 homers, 15 runs batted in. But this will be his first time at the plate this year in the Lone Star Series. One ball, one strike. He gained a good reputation as a fourth outfielder the last couple of years. Last year hit 291 and had 12 homers, 65 runs batted in 419 at bats. Young with 1,950 hits, all-time leader for the Rangers. Ground ball there. There's the toss, and Barmas takes the toss from Sanchez for a 4-6-3 double play. Good move to the right by Sanchez.
It almost got by him. Ball's got a little extra juice on it, and he's able to hang on and start the double play. Very nice. Infield grass didn't slow that one down much at all.
No. Yeah, he barely got to the right position to field that Murphy grounder for the 4-6-3 double play. Yorvit Torrealba has hit 354 in June. That's the 8th best average this month in the American League, up to 262 for the season. And get ball one. Torrealba's 1 for 7 in this series with an RBI. Now it's a 2-ball no strike count for Wandy Rodriguez. Not only does he have a winning record of 5-4 with a 3.21 ERA, but the Astros have a winning record in his 13 starts. They're 7-6. 2-1. That's what the month of June has done for him after a horrid month of May. 131. 2-2. Rangers are 20-22 away from Rangers Ballpark in Arlington. They have won 8 straight games here, and they have really had the Astros number the last few seasons. Torrealba just got a tiny piece of it. Still 2-2. Homestand rolls on tomorrow night with Bud Norris facing Tim Wakefield at 7:05. The Astros meeting the Red Sox. Now the count runs full.
Too bad the rotations didn't match up where we could have had a Wakefield Lyles match up, the oldest and the youngest.
John Lester won his 10th today as the Red Sox beat the Phillies 5-2 in Philadelphia.
Jordan Lyles wasn't born when Tim Wakefield broke into the big leagues.
There's the way the pairings are. Wakefield and Norris, Miller and Happ, Beckett and Lyles.
Sox ought to be rolling into town pretty soon.
Should
Played
be.
an afternoon game today in Philly. Beat the Phillies 5-2 to salvage one in that 3-game set.
Jason Varitek hit a pair of homers. One ball, backhanded. Barmas. Good strong throw. In the second, no runs a hit, nobody left. And here in Houston, through 1.5, there is no score.
Second, and tonight's broadcast is on AFM, the Armed Forces Network, broadcasting to the U.S. Armed Forces, serving in 175 countries and aboard ships at sea. They're watching around the world in Iraq, Germany, Italy, Southwest Asia, South Korea, and Japan. Welcome, and a special shout-out to WAVE, the 52nd Fighter Wing in Spangdahlem Air Base, Germany. Did I say it right? Spangdahlem. Guys, does that sound right? Spangdahlem?
Not sure. Only Wave knows the pronunciation of that Air Force base. That's strike one to Chris Johnson. He's on a 6-game hitting streak. And the appeal goes down to first on that swing. He checked it apparently. Nope. It was called strike two. No balls, 2 strikes to CJ. 244 for Chris. 6 homers, 32 runs batted in. His father, Ron, the first base coach of the Red Sox, coming in for a little family reunion this weekend. It's 1-2. Matt Downs got the call last night at third base, and he had a 1-for-4 game with a double. Broken bat. It goes out to Elvis Andrus on 1 hop. He turns it into out number 1 for Harrison. And Clint Barmas will follow.
Harrison's got plus stuff, and he gets a little run on that fastball in on the righties. The kind of guy who's going to leave a lot of broken bats in his wake.
Barmas at 226 with 3 homers has driven in 13. Harrison made the team as a starter this spring for the 3rd year in a row. The last couple of years he lost his job in the rotation because of injuries, and then he returned as a reliever last year. Was not on the postseason roster and used that as some motivation for this year.
Changeup. And a good one.
Yeah.
See the grip from the circle change grip in his glove. We can see it. The hitter can't see it, though. The hitter doesn't have a center field camera to rely on. As far as we know. Back-to-back changeups.
1-2 to Barmas. Harrison's had a rough month. He missed 1 start with a blister. Then he pitched with a kidney stone. And then a line drive hit him in the left triceps. He had to come out of the game in the 7th inning. Now a line shot left field. 1 hopping the wall. Barmas heads for second base. And the throw's offline from Hamilton. A double for Barmas, number 14, and he's been collecting those at a pretty good clip recently.
That's his sweet spot, down and in a little bit. Ball he handles pretty well. She'll just drop the head on this one, and off she goes. Nice one-out double RBI opportunity for J.R. Tolles.
Tolles had one pinch hit at bat in the Tampa Bay series, and that's his only at bat on this homestand. He had only one at bat in Texas. Fouls it back, strike one. 195 is his average. 3 homers, 10 runs batted in, with the 11 stitches he had in his chin from the foul ball that came up and hit the bottom part of his mask and pushed it up, and then the bar on the mask just opened a gash in his chin. He's been out for several days. That was from a start in the first game of the Tampa Bay series Friday night. No balls, 2 strikes. He got a little more padding on the mask now, and he said it's comfortable enough to go with it. He actually has been ready to go for a little bit more than a day. He said he could have played last night, maybe a little bit the night before, but Carlos Corporon's really been catching a lot. Ground ball third to Hopper Beltre. Throwing across for out number 2.
Tom Worsley would have gone back there with no mask. Eddie Jockman.
They probably would have. Wandy Rodriguez with 4 hits in 26 at bats has a 154 average. Well, there's this theme that's been the undercurrent of this interleague homestand for the Astros of American League pitchers getting their first major league hits. 3 times it's happened to the Astros on this homestand. Twice in one game for Tampa Bay, with Jeff Neiman the starting pitcher in that game, and then Wade Davis came in later, got a hit. Last night, well, it was C.J. Wilson 2 nights ago, and he got a triple. The Astros pitchers would love to do a little bit of that themselves, and there's ball 1 to Wandy. Earlier this season, the Astros pitchers were just really excelling at the plate. Bouncer goes to shortstop. Lazy 2-hopper for Andrus, who turns it into out number 3, and it's no runs a hit and a man stranded after 2, no score.
Introduce you to our progressive fan of the game. We've got Pierce right here. Pierce is a baseball player. He's with his grandfather. He's here from Pasadena, his very first Astros game. And tell me what you're doing out here and how much fun you're having.
I'm just watching the game, and it's like the coolest seats, and like I'm having the time of my life.
How on earth did you score these cool seats?
My dad's work.
And your dad's not even here.
Nope.
But you get to spend the game with who? Tell me who you got here, Pierce.
My mom's sister, my aunt, my grandpa, and my mom.
Yeah, and do you get to come out to a lot of Astros games, or is this a special one for you?
This is I don't go a lot, but I go sometimes. So.
Do you have a favorite player?
No, not really.
No, you just like the whole Astros team?
All of them.
All right, and you play baseball?
Yep.
What do you play?
I play all the positions, but mostly catcher.
Catcher? All right, do you have any tips for some of the Astros catchers here? They've been taking a little bit of a beating. They've been taking some balls to the face. They're getting kind of injured. Any tips?
No, just get on your knees and catch it.
Get on your knees and catch it. All right, well, Pierce is our progressive fan of the game. Thank you so much, Pierce. And all of you guys enjoy your first game here, Grandpa. And these are our fans of the games, guys.
Thank you, Patty. We thought he was going to say, get on your knees and pray. Strike one to Craig Gentry. And he puts this one out toward right center field. Hunter Pence is calling for it. That's out number one here in the third. Gentry retired, and Harrison comes up.
Pierce, get out from behind the plate while you're young.
Yes, exactly.
Save yourself.
It's the best advice we could give him. Matt Harrison also is looking for his first major league hit.
Unless you're left-handed and can hit for power, stay right where you are.
Harrison is 0 for 7. And 0 for 9 in his big league career, taking that pitch. C.J. Wilson might have been joking, but he said he considered his triple Tuesday night to be the highlight of his major league career. 2 balls, no strikes. But that started a 3-run rally, and the Rangers went on to win the game 7-3. 2 balls, 1 strike for Wandy Rodriguez. In that Red Sox win, Jason Varitek hit a pair of homers. Jonathan Papelbon got his 15th save today in the 5-2 win at Philly.
Varitek went back-to-back with somebody, Pedroia, I think.
Yes,
also
Pedroia. That's right. Cole Hamels left with an injury.
The MVP of the game was the guy who hit a comebacker off of Cole Hamels' right hand. Not his throwing hand, but bruised his hand and he had to come out of the game.
Okay, guys, with 2 outs, we're going to quickly ask you the AT&T trivia question. Now, as we told you yesterday, the first interleague game ever played involved the Rangers and the Giants. I want to know what former Astro grounded into the first double play in the history of interleague play.
In 97?
It came in that game, yeah. 6-12-97. So now you got to think, okay, who was on which team?
Rangers and Giants, 97. Jeff Kent?
No, but that's a good guess. And I'll even give you a clue. It was the right team.
All right.
Mel Ott.
Well, right team, but not a very good guess.
Wouldn't be Jose Vizcaíno, would it?
That it would.
Wow.
He has the dubious distinction of having grounded into the first double play in the history of interleague baseball.
It probably still worries him today that he did that.
I'm sure it does.
Now, Hunter Pence noticed something about you, Greg, today.
Oh, yeah. Well, a couple things, actually.
All right.
I'm wearing the Larry Dierker guaranteed win tie. And the hair is a little different because this was back the way it was when things were going really well around here.
Okay, so it's a guaranteed to win hairstyle and tie then.
Yeah.
And by going really well, you mean like 2005?
Yeah, I mean back in those days. And now what happens if the Astros lose? I may come in looking like JD tomorrow.
Yeah, there you go. At least you have options.
Stay tuned for that. Kinsler takes a walk. That's the first of the game for Wandy Rodriguez.
All right, here it is now, an official answer. What former Astro grounded in the first double play in interleague play history? It was Jose Vizcaíno. Remember, the Giants and the Rangers played a day earlier than everybody else that first year of interleague play.
We didn't remember that.
Yeah, that's why. That's why. No, but it's actually in the Rangers media guide. If you look at the right page, it's all there. That's how I knew that Oliver was the first starting pitcher and the first losing pitcher and all that sort of stuff.
Elvis Andrus, the batter. He's singled to right earlier. There's ball one.
Jose Vizcaíno Also owns the distinction of being, I think, the only one, or one of just a couple, maybe Darryl Strawberry as well, to have played for all four of the New York teams and/or their children, if you will, with the Dodgers and the Giants moving from New York to the coast. He's been a Met, a Yankee, a Giant, and a Dodger.
That's a good one. Meaning at the mound here. Kinsler on at first, and that was ball one. 48 pitches for Wandy Rodriguez, 27 strikes. And there is a little discussion about this situation. Runner at first, 2 outs. 1-0 count on Andrus. Kinsler a base stealer, 15 of 17. One and one. Rangers have won 14 of their last 17 from the Astros.
And with a left-handed pitcher on the mound, it kind of shuts the running game down some, but the flip side of that is, and I'll get to that if we have a chance here. If you're Ron Washington, in most games with a right-handed pitcher on the mound, you don't want to take too many chances in advance of a possible Josh Hamilton at bat with a couple of men on base. So you normally wouldn't think about running here because you're just hoping Andrus can get on and Hamilton can get up there and maybe hit a 3-run homer. But his power is diminished significantly with a left-hander on the mound. He doesn't hit as many home runs. So that brings the running game back into play in this situation.
Cubs beat the Giants this afternoon 5-2 in 13. It's 1-2. Cardinals lead the Orioles tonight 8-3 in the top of the 6th at Baltimore. Lance Berkman hit his 19th. John Jay number 6 for St. Louis. Nolan Reimold connected for number 4 for the Orioles. Now it's 2-2. Astros 28-53 record here at the halfway mark of the 2011 season. The ties their 28-53 mark in 1975 after 81 games. That's the worst mark through 81 for a Houston club. Interesting to compare the numbers. Now that 75 team finished 64-97. 97 losses, the most ever by a Houston franchise. It's happened 3 different times. But in 75, the Astros had allowed 367 runs. This year they've allowed 411.
Pitching has made a significant comeback the last couple of years in Major League Baseball, but still much more hitter-friendly era now than 75. Last night I looked. There was something like 12 games last night where 3 runs would have been enough to get it done.
Oh, really?
Yeah, a lot of 2-1, 3-2, 1-0 games. Here's the breakdown halfway point. A whole lot of things going well.
One of these 6 catchers on the roster has been the injured Jason Castro, who was hurt in spring training, but nonetheless he's been on the roster all year.
A whole lot better last year. So therein lies the hope. Second half last year went pretty well.
3-2 with the runner going. It's top foul. And Brad Mills, in his session with the media before the game tonight, was talking about just the work continuing. And he said about a week or 10 days ago we got together, the coaches meeting and talking about the way things were going on the club. We decided more attention was necessary to defensive play, and we've continued our work on that and some pregame sessions trying to tighten things down. Kinsler going, and that fly ball goes over shortstop into shallow left center field, and that will dunk in for a hit in front of Jason Michaels. throws it into second base on a looping single by Andrews, who's 2 for 2. And now Hamilton does get to the plate with runners at the corners and 2 outs.
Andrews back from that injury. He missed the last 4 days, making it pay off here. Base hit last time, a little flare into shallow left for Cheapy here, but could prove to be a significant hit to keep this inning alive with Hamilton coming up.
Hamilton struck out on a breaking pitch in the first inning. He ran the count full. Last year he drove in 100 runs. He had 518 at bats last season. In tight for ball 1.
Up and in fastball there just to let Hamilton know, no, it's not going to be all curveballs. You can't sit on one pitch against me. I'm going to throw that Swifty up and in on you every now and then. And Hamilton has just had a miserable time of it this year in day games.
Ground ball wide of first.
It's been widely reported he's talked about because he has blue eyes and he's sensitive to the light. I looked at his career numbers in day games. They're not particularly good, but nowhere near as bad as what's going on this year. Lifetime about 240. I think he hit 286 last year during day games.
Still a lot of light coming in, JD.
Get the garlic.
Make those stats after 9 p.m. or something like that now. Wandy dropping down, throws ball 2.
Well, hitters, as a rule, generally do better at night than they do in the daytime.
Why is that?
I think because of the bright light. You see the ball as well. Squinting.
Now 3 balls, 1 strike for Wandy Rodriguez. Beltre on deck.
And plus the fact that you play mostly night games, so you get trained to play under the lights. And so the day games tend to be an aberration.
Throws your routine off a little bit.
Out of whack, you know. Pre-game meal's a bowl of Frosted Flakes instead of a cheeseburger. It's a problem.
Not enough protein for breakfast. That's it. That's a walk to load the bases.
Puckett used to throw down some double cheeseburgers for day games.
Well,
didn't bother him.
Maybe that's the answer.
Good plan, yeah.
Doug Brocail comes out with the bases loaded now, and Beltre the batter. Beltre grounded out with a man on third to end the first inning for the Rangers. Rangers have some rehabbing pitchers at AAA Round Rock. In fact, the joke has been that Round Rock team's been a world beater this year with all the guys they've had rehabbing there. And one of those is Chris Davis. Davis has hit 19 homers in 32 games for Round Rock this year. He's been up briefly with the Rangers, but there's a little undercurrent surrounding their club that Davis might be coming back pretty soon to the Rangers.
They've tried him a couple times, and he just wears it out in AAA, but when he gets to the big leagues, he hasn't found much success. Tremendous defensive first baseman.
But they like Mitch Moreland.
Yeah, well, a lot of reasons to like Moreland, and he has had success here at the big league level. Wandy in a blind here. It's kind of like his last start. His last start, he got 2 quick outs and then got ambushed, gave up a 4 spot.
Beltre takes ball 1.
And he hangs one of those breaking balls in the happy zone. He might give up a 4 spot right here. This is a big early game confrontation right here.
Beltre has 1 at bat with the bases loaded this year. That resulted in a grand slam. He's ahead, 2 balls, no strikes.
You got to make a pitch here. Obviously, you don't want to go behind 3-0. You don't want to walk in a run, but walking in a run is a lot better than having this guy jog around the bases with 3 in front of him. That's the equalizer. We could drop that hook in there on 2-0.
2 grand slams allowed by Wandy Rodriguez in his career.
And that frees him up to throw the fastball here if he wants, because you can't sit fastball if you got a guy out there who's capable of dropping that 2-0 curveball in there.
A little late on that one. That's 2-2.
That's exactly why. He's got that curveball in the back of his mind. He can't cheat on the fastball, and he's a little bit behind it.
Beltre's the only Texas player to appear in all of their 81 games to this point. He has 26 runs batted in on the road to lead the Rangers away from Arlington. And he calls time and steps away.
Big, great time for a changeup here if he felt comfortable that he could make a pitch with it.
Cranks a foul past the third base coach, Dave Anderson.
Fastball in on the knuckles.
Crowds will be big this weekend for the Red Sox series. Should be very interesting baseball starting tomorrow night. The Rangers will be in Arlington with Alexi Ogando pitching against the Marlins and Anibal Sanchez. Out to right center field. Hunter Pence going for it and calling. And in the third inning for the Rangers, it's no runs, a hit, 3 men stranded, a big out for Wandy Rodriguez to keep this game scoreless.
Brought to you by Chevy. Check out ChevyBaseball.com/Astros. Have a chance to win tickets and a trip to the 2011 Major League Baseball World Series. Also brought to you by AT&T. Rethink possible.
We go to the bottom of the third inning. It'll be Bourne, Sanchez, and Pence 2 up against lefty Matt Harrison. Harrison sat out a 2-hour and 15-minute rain delay in Atlanta after he pitched 4 2/3 innings. Then came back, and that's the longest delay we know of this year from which a pitcher has returned.
Yeah, got to go 5 to get qualified for the win. It's the most important out in the ball game. Well, we've heard a number of stories this year of long rain delays where the pitcher has just gone into the cage and simulated innings in an indoor tunnel to stay hot, and that allows him to come back out.
Well, he came back and pitched 2 more innings, left the game with a 4-3 lead, but the bullpen blew the save for him. And then he had another tough luck start with a rain delay in which he had a 7-0 lead in the 4th inning, but the game was rained out. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Michael Bourne.
He needs to get to know Harry Kraft's wife. Make the fog appear. She can clear up a little rain.
That's right. Bourne takes a close one.
what, the zone much tighter tonight than last night. Bob Davidson was behind the plate last night, had a pretty generous strike zone. That's been the case tonight for Todd Titchener.
Now it's 3-2. Harrison estimated he threw about 300 times. That long rain delay in Atlanta, long toss, warm-ups and everything. Bourne hits it in the air, and Kinsler makes a catch. We go to Greg Lucas.
Hey, don't miss your chance to catch the Red Sox at Minute Maid Park this weekend for an interleague series starting tomorrow. Sunday, the first 10,000 fans of the 105 game receive a Brett Myers bobblehead courtesy of Dayhill. Buy your tickets at Astros.com. It's the first bobblehead of all time that you can put on your shelf and it'll scream at you.
Yeah, those are good commercials for that.
Yeah.
Angel Sanchez. The
cigar holder.
Ball one to Angel. He grounded out to third earlier. Now, Matt Harrison had lost 4 starts in a row when he had that rain delay situation against Oakland earlier this year. The big lead and the postponement. So he's 6-6 right now. Could be even better. Ball 2 to Sanchez. Rangers started the year in great shape. They swept Boston and Seattle for a 6-0 start on their opening homestand. But right now they're 5 games over 500, so they played 1 under since then. Three balls and a strike. Hunter Pence is on deck. Andrews takes care of the second out for Harrison. That's 6 ground ball outs and another ball that was booted. Hunter Pence reached on that error by Andrews. The 6 double play balls by Harrison in that April 15th start against the Yankees this year matched Mark Burley in 09 and Dick Drago in 1972. The only other pitchers to have 6 double plays in a game.
Astros don't have to worry about hitting into double plays tonight. They haven't had enough base runners.
It's like last night.
Just want to get the ball out of the infield and go from there.
Ground ball third, short hop play. Beltre, good glove man, takes care of out number 3. And through 3, there's no score.
Yes, I have made my way out to the Patti Smith fan club sign. Of course, we knew I would have to come out here. It's not often, in fact, it's never that I've actually had a fan club. This is Dennis. I guess you're the president of the fan club?
Yep, I am the president, and this is Ted. He's the vice president.
Okay, is this a fan club of how many? 2?
At 2 and growing.
And growing. Okay, what's its potential maybe?
Oh, well, I'm sure every one of these people here that watch Fox Sports will be able to join our fan club. I might even make a Facebook page out of it.
All right, of all the people here, you've got Bill Brown, you've got Jim DeShades, Greg Lucas, all these people out here. What prompted the Patti Smith fan club?
They're old and they're guys.
All right, well, the one problem I have here is you got the Cubs hat on. That doesn't really sit well.
I lost a bet.
Okay, but you're truly an Astros fan?
Absolutely.
All right, well, we can take care of that. We've got a little sticker here. We're just going to peel right off and place right over the... There we go. It's an Astros logo. I can't peel it off because I need another hand. I can't hold my microphone, but he's now an official Astros fan. But he did tell me this is his favorite team. I am his favorite announcer. I'm sorry, guys. I think the only thing I've got going for me is the fact that, like he said, I'm not a guy. But thank you. I appreciate it, and I'm honored.
And you do a great job, too.
You're not old either, Patty.
And I'm not old. That was the key thing I left out. I just want to make sure somebody else said it.
Absolutely.
All right, very good. 1 ball, 1 strike on David Murphy after Michael Young grounded out to shortstop Clint Barmas. Murphy bounced into that double play started by Angel Sanchez. It's 2 balls and a strike to David. Loves playing at Minute Maid Park, where he watched games and aspired to be where he is right now. Another ground ball to Sanchez. 2 outs. Well, one to get the bases loaded out on Beltre, and that is proving to be very large in this game so far.
That was it. That was the key.
It sticks. So Patty's got her own fan club now, and we'll have to check and see when that Facebook page comes out. Now Torrealba grounded to shortstop to end the 2nd inning for the Rangers. Big day for CC Sabathia and the Yankees. They shut out Milwaukee 5-0. Sabathia struck out 13, hitting Randy Wolf. Sabathia now 11-4, and Mark Teixeira hit his 300th homer.
Oh, it's a good year.
Sure is.
Oh, no. 25th this year. So he's got a chance to hit 50. Batista's got 24.
Yeah.
Verlander also won today. He and Sabathia the first to 11 wins in Major League Baseball.
There they are. Correa, Halladay, and Jurgens with 10. Barmas backhands. Throws off balance. He's amazing on those. They're always right there, chest high to the first baseman. 3 ground ball outs in the 4th inning for Wandy Rodriguez. No score in the game.
4th Kids Free All Summer is here. It's presented by Minute Maid. Every home game this year, for every full price adult ticket you purchase in the outfield or view deck sections, you can get up to 2 free tickets for kids 14 years of age and younger. Astros.com is the site. Got a frog working.
Okay.
Excuse me. Pardon me.
All right. Carlos Lee leads it off, home 4th inning. You can take care of that frog. There's ball 1 to El Caballo, who drew a walk in the 1st inning after the error allowed Pence to reach, but then Harrison struck out Michaels looking to get out of 1st inning trouble. He gets a strike call there for a 1-1 count on Lee. Each pitcher has had 7 ground ball outs. That includes 2 on a double play ball for Wandy. 2 balls and a strike. Rangers have had good, strong starting efforts. C.J. Wilson Tuesday night in the 7-3 win. 7 innings, 2 runs. Colby Lewis last night, 6 2/3 innings, 2 runs. That's hit sharply, and 2-2 to Carlos Lee. Rangers have the 5th best ERA among starting pitchers in the American League. Liner right at Bob Davidson.
Just missed by inches. Nice little leadoff double for El Caballo. We're going to get a curveball and try to backdoor him.
It's a foul ball. Rangers starters have a 2.82 ERA their last 12 games. Alexio Gondo is in the top 10 in ERA in the American League. He goes for them tomorrow night. There's some talk that they might give him a rest then around the All-Star break after that start. That's the left field. Hamilton back, looking up, and El Caballo has hit one out for a 1-0 Houston lead. Home run number 7. And that's 2 of 2 games for Carlos Lee.
After a prolonged home run drought, El Caballo showing some signs. Last night, after hitting a couple of balls pretty well to left field, he finally got one in the 7th inning.
Time now for the Coors Light Cold Hard Blast. And Lee does it again.
We saw where Torrealba was set up. He wanted that fastball in on the hands. Wanted to crowd him with the fastball, and Harrison threw it over the middle.
Jason Michaels gets a high breaking pitch for ball 1.
It's the first half of the equation. The second half, Carlos Lee then did his job and jumped all over that mistake.
One ball, 1 strike to Jason Michaels. It's actually homers in consecutive at bats because he went deep in the 7th inning last night. Then he walked in the 9th, and he walked in the 1st tonight.
As a pitcher, it's not uncommon to give up base hits on good pitches. You know, hitters sometimes will reach out, hit a good fastball down and away, poke it the other way, or they'll fight off an inside fastball. But rarely do you say, that guy took me deep, but that was a good pitch. It's almost always in a bad spot.
Liner caught by Beltre. 2-1 down now as Michaels is 0 for 2, and it's Chris Johnson batting next.
You know, with the possible exception of those times where you're just willing to throw it in there because you're trying to get the jump on a hitter. You're just willing to channel a fastball, or you're trying to throw a little get over curveball and the guy happens to be looking for it. More times than not, when we show you that home run replay, we'll show the catcher sitting one place and the ball ending up somewhere else.
Strike to Chris Johnson. He grounded to short in the 2nd inning. David Ortiz will be here tomorrow night with the Red Sox. He and Prince Fielder are the first captains of their home run derby contest coming up at Chase Field in Phoenix on July 11th.
They have captains?
They have captains now.
Are they picking? Are they throwing a bat up in the air and doing the hand over hand thing to decide who gets first pick?
Not sure about that.
Yeah, they need to do that. And then you take the end of the bat and you make a scoreboard in the dirt in front of the dugout.
Yeah.
I think they should have all the players ride out onto the field through the gate in the outfield on bicycles with their bat up on their handlebars and the glove, the bat sticking through the glove, you know.
You have some good ideas for that. Well, that was fun. The year was here in 04.
And then the ball would go. You remember the bar, right? You had the crossbar, and then the other bar, the frame that came down. You could jam a baseball in there. That's where you kept the ball.
Absolutely. Let's do it. CJ fouls it away. Still a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Big Papi's the reigning champion of the home run derby. He's gone deep 68 times in his 4 appearances.
Thought that was Ash for a minute. He's in Toronto.
Yeah, he is in Toronto. It's kind of a look-alike. And a strikeout for Harrison. His number 2 of the night. Clint Varmus ripped a double to left field in the second. That was the Astros' first hit.
That's the changeup right there that we were talking about earlier. Has made him so effective against righties, and not just the changeup, but he's got a plus fastball and has shown the ability to cut it in.
There's a liner, and he might have gotten a glove on it, but nonetheless, a sharp single by Varmus. He's 2 for 2 tonight. Right through the box.
Seeing the ball well. His fastball out away from him. And last time the ball was down and in a little bit, so he yanked it to left for a double. Now this one's up and out away. He just stays right on it. Playing a little pepper with Gentry out there in center field.
Sure was. J.R. Tolles rolled over on one, grounded to third in the second inning. J.R. has not had many at bats here the last couple of weeks. Fouls that one for strike 1, so his timing probably is a little suspect. The Astros are 3-8 in interleague play this year. One and one. Home run by Carlos in the 4th inning is their 3rd against the Rangers in this interleague series, but Texas has hit 11 in the Lone Star series against Houston. That one heads to right center field. Gentry with the catch to end the Astros 4th inning, and it's 1-0 on Carlos Lee's 7th home run of the year.
Houston is brought to you by Toshiba, bringing common sense innovation to the laptop, and by your local Texas Ford dealer. The Astros now having a 1-0 lead. Play moves to the top of the 5th. Bill Brown and Jim Deshaies.
Thank you, Greg Lucas. The run provided by Carlos Lee. His 44th run batted in of the year. Has spotted Wandy Rodriguez with a 1-run lead through 4. He got out of bases loaded trouble in the 3rd, getting Beltre on a fly ball to right. Now in the 5th inning, it's Gentry, Harrison, and Kinsler due up for the Rangers.
This is exactly where you want to be as a pitcher. You've got a lead. Moving into the middle innings, you're facing the bottom of the order. Important to get this guy out. He's got a lot of speed. He can create some havoc on the bases. Plus, it would allow Harrison an opportunity to bunt.
Gentry fouls it. It's 1-1 to the native of Fort Smith, Arkansas, and the University of Arkansas. Gentry now 27 years old. Very speedy player. Good outfielder. He was quite a sprinter in high school. He won state championships in the 200 and 400 meter dashes.
In Arkansas.
Yeah.
They're known for their speed in Arkansas.
True.
A speedy state.
Who else can you think of who might have been a sprint champion in the state of Arkansas?
Sidney Moncrief.
Oh.
I have no idea.
Well, a lot of Arkansas Razorback running backs have done well.
I don't personally know anybody ever from Arkansas. I don't know if I've ever met anyone or known anybody from Arkansas.
Really?
Come to think of it, yeah.
Okay.
Isn't that weird?
It is.
I'm sure I have, because I don't ask everybody where they're from.
Have you ever driven through Arkansas?
Probably had a teammate or two along the way that I'm forgetting. Yeah, I've driven through. Yeah.
Kevin McReynolds. Arkansas guy. That's hit well to left center field. Michael's backing on it. Gentry retired, 1 out. And it's Harrison coming up next.
And Jeff King, a University of Arkansas guy. First round pick by the Pirates.
Yep.
Pretty good player back in the day.
Yes, he was. First round pick, you're right. Harrison struck out in the 3rd inning. Tigers beat the Mets 5-2. Verlander winning number 11, and Valverde getting his 19th save, beating Mike Pelfrey. The Mets had won 4 in a row, and they had scored a club record 52 runs during their 4-game winning streak.
Well, there's a great example of good pitching shutting down good hitting. The Mets had scored 30 in the previous 2 ball games against the Tigers, and Verlander just said, that'll be enough of that.
Tigers, let's see, Daniel Schlereth gave up 2 grand slams in 1 game, right?
Did he really?
Yeah. Strikeout, and that's number 4. Carlos Beltran apparently has said that he would not stand in the way of a trade to a contender. He would have to approve any trade on the terms of his contract. Ian Kinsler is struck out and he's walked. Well, the Mets might be thinking more about being contenders themselves.
Hanging in there, aren't they?
Yeah.
So this is where Kinsler is a bit of a deal changer, because a lot of clubs, the leadoff man is kind of a slap type hitter, so you've got 2 quick outs and you just want to get the inning, be real aggressive and attack that leadoff man. But because he's so dangerous, you cannot afford to pitch him that way. You got to treat him more like a middle of the order guy with 2 outs and nobody on.
He had 31 homers in 09. Two balls and a strike. Kinsler became the first player this year in the majors to hit homers. I think the first leadoff guy in his first 2 at bats of the game. He hit him in the 1st and 3rd innings last night in the Texas 3-2 win.
Ironically, he'd been hit by a pitch earlier in the at bat in the home run in the 3rd. but he was not awarded first base. Bob Davidson, the home plate umpire, claimed that he bunted at the ball, kept that at bat alive, and he goes deep. That proves to be the difference in the game.
That was his 8th career multi-homer game. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Last leadoff guy to hit homers his first 2 plate appearances was Ichiro last August. Rangers are 14-12 in the month of June. It's out to center field. Michael Bourne makes it a 1-2-3-5 for Wandy Rodriguez, who has kept the Rangers off the scoreboard. The Astros lead 1-0 on the Lee home run.
Saturday, July 16th, join the Astros for the second Faith and Family Night of 2011. The Astros host the Pirates at 6:05, and after the game, fans can enjoy a free post-game concert with the David Crowder Band. Tickets start at just $7. Visit Astros.com tonight. Guys?
Thanks, Patty. Let us know about that Facebook page when it comes out now. Wandy Rodriguez leads it off, 1-0 Astros, bottom of the 5th inning. He grounded out earlier. Wandy, a switch hitter, taking strike 1. Bourne and Sanchez to follow Rodriguez to the plate in the Astros 5th. It's a 1-ball, 1-strike count. Last night, Colby Lewis mowed down the first 11 Astros in order. He needed only 61 pitches in the first 6 innings. He threw only 10 balls in the first 61.
Yeah, I think he started the game with 23 strikes out of 25 pitches or something crazy like that. You talk about a pitcher setting the tone.
He really did. Only the Chicago White Sox have a better record than the Rangers in interleague play last year and this year. Little tap, fielded by Harrison. Turns into out number 1. White Sox won today at Colorado in 10, 6-4. 2-run single in the 10th inning by Juan Pierre. Michael Bourne has grounded to second and popped to second. Astros have lost 13 of 15 in this ballpark this year. There's strike 1. Would love to get something going so they could get this home crowd stirred up a little bit. That one hit him. That's not what they had in mind, but they do have a painful base runner. Michael got it around the right elbow, it appears. Right forearm, maybe. First hit batsman by Harrison all year.
He was trying to throw that slider, and he'd been missing away earlier to Michael, so I think he was trying to start it in and then have it shoot to the outer third, and he just didn't finish the pitch. Didn't quite get through it.
Third time Michael's been hit by a pitch this season. Angel Sanchez has grounded out twice, both times to the left side. Bourne is 34 for 38 in base stealing. Torrealba's thrown out 11 of 43. And Harrison's been tough for the base runners. Only one stolen base against Harrison this year. Bunted by the mound, and Bourne gets to second, out at first. There was a little dance between Kinsler and Bourne. Kinsler was coming in to field it. Bourne had to sashay around him. 2 outs, runner at second. Sanchez unable to reach on his bid for a bunt single.
A good idea pushing that out towards Kinsler, but Kinsler able to come in and make a nice play with a whole lot going on too, because here comes Michael. He's got to avoid Michael, get around, get the ball, and make the play.
Sanchez had his hopes for first and second and 1 out. Good barehanded play, no sacrifice on the play. Hunter Pence, with that great batting average with men in scoring position, has another opportunity here. He's 0 for 2 tonight. Strike one to the native of the Arlington area, who was born in Fort Worth but went to UT Arlington. Hunter's been among the league leaders for quite some time now with men in scoring position. 395 is his average. A big 2-out hit here will go very well for the Astros. No balls, 2 strikes. The batting average against Harrison this year is .238. Gentry's well over into right center field. Slashed foul.
He's been inducing a lot of weak contact. Ground balls off the end of the bat, or running that fastball in on the hands with the weak little pop-ups, and that's what it's all about. It's nice to get strikeouts, but primarily if you can keep the ball off the fat part of the bat, good things are going to happen.
Leaders of the Game is brought to you by United Airlines, proud to fly the Houston Astros. Hunter Pence is hitting .395 with runners in scoring position. That is second in the National League to Joey Votto's .431. Fouled away, and Hunter continues to battle down in the count 0-2.
And the high fastball here is a risky proposition. I mean, got him to swing and miss up there, and you can beat him up there for sure, but we've also seen him ride that pitch out of the ballpark to right field.
And Harrison's allowed 8 homers this year. He's in his 89th inning.
Spoiled a good change up there. That ball was about 8 inches outside.
The Astros, with the Carlos Lee homer tonight, have been out homered by their opponents this year, 99-46. One and two. Chris Volstad in Florida held off Oakland in Oakland 5-4.
Ever do the limbo, Brownie?
Yeah.
You know that limbo song? Is it How Low Will You Go?
Yep.
We were just kind of playing that version with Hunter. How wide, how far will you go?
Yeah.
Torrealba setting up in the left-handed hitter's batter's box.
Yes, he is. That's almost Javi Lopez style catcher set up there. The catcher's box not really being enforced tonight by Todd Titchener. Got that right foot well out of the catcher's box. Ground ball. Beltre falls, gets up, spins, throws low, safe at first, and the run scores. And Pence heads for second base. 2-0 Astros. Beltre lost his footing. And then the throw was low to Michael Young. He was unable to stop it. And Michael Bourne scores. It's ruled a hit. An error on Beltre, his 10th. No run batted in for Pence.
Surprised it's a single to begin with.
Yeah.
Although really there was no error fielding the ball, just kind of he laid back on it and got turned around. So he played it poorly, and Hunter's speed allowed him to beat the play. Young would have been better off coming off the base just to corral that one. But even at that, I don't think he's going to stop Bourne, who just never contemplated slowing down.
The Rangers make their second error of the night, 65th of the year for Ron Washington's club.
Off the bat, it looked like a fairly routine ground ball.
Yeah, it did. Now Carlos Lee tries to make it an even bigger inning, but he won't get a chance to swing the bat. It'll be Jason Michaels instead. Intentional walk to Lee. Lee with the homer last night in the 7th inning, and then a walk in the 9th. And tonight, walk, homer, walk here. It's been all homers and walks for him for the last 5 plate appearances.
Alba better be on his toes.
It's way out there.
Yeah, he's not going to make a mistake over the plate with this intentional walk. Well, Carlos, what's he got to be thinking? He's in this home run drought all year. He finally gets a couple. Now they won't pitch to him. Come on, guys.
Exactly.
Only got 6.
Ron Washington says nope.
7 now. It's a good look at Beltre. He's a little late to get started reacting to that ball, and essentially let the ball play him. Waited back, hoping to get a convenient hop, and never did.
His left foot gave way on him too.
Yeah, you know, and he's made some sparkling plays in the games against the Astros, but at times his footwork has seemed a little out of sync.
Sure was there. Now Jason Michaels has this opportunity. 2 outs, 2 on. He struck out looking and lined to third. And there's strike 1 to J. Mike. Now Brett Wallace getting a rest tonight against the lefty Harrison. Brad Mills explained he just wanted Jason Michaels to get at bats. He has 79 at bats this season. Was out with the left shoulder injury for about 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks.
It's nice when you can score a run without the ball leaving the infield.
It's a rather modest rally. 1 out hit batsman. And then the infield hit, an error. But it could mushroom. Chris Johnson's on deck. Line drive up the right field line, headed for the corner. That's a fair ball into the corner. Stays in play. Pence scores. Lee's being waved home by Dave Clark. The ball still loose on the warning track. And now here's a stop sign.
Murphy's talking about claiming fan interference, but you still have to go play the ball. David Murphy just kept pointing to the fan and telling the umpire that ball was touched. It should be a dead ball. Jerry Lane didn't see that. He ruled fair ball. It's
a triple for Michaels, his first of the year.
And they're discussing now whether anybody else saw a fan interfere with this ball or not.
No, you're right. The outfielder can't really make that assumption that the umpire is going to agree with him when he points to the fan. Lane ruled fair ball.
Yeah, 2 bases.
Like it hit the outside of the line.
And then jumped up into the stands there.
That'll bring a runner back.
Hit the snow cone man.
Okay.
That's a snow cone double. You don't see that every day. Off the snow cone man double.
David Murphy saw it. And the umpire's now come around to his way of thinking, and you'll see why. Right off the corner of the snow cone tray.
Snow cone man.
So it goes as an RBI double. And that means the Astros place the runners at second and third. Pence scored, but Lee has to go back to third base, which makes it 3-0. Because the ball did leave the field of play. When it hit that object in the stands, it was dead. So it's double number 3 for Michaels. That gives him 6 runs batted in, but 1 is taken away on the call. And that means 3-0 for Johnson. Chris is 0 for 2, a ground out to short and a strikeout. Looking at ball 1. One ball, 1 strike.
I want to implement a new rule that anything off the vendor is in play. It kicks back. It's like when you hit your drive into the woods and it hits a tree and kicks back into the fairway.
Okay.
Play it.
Haven't seen that one in a while. One and 2.
CJ struck out last time. Had a hard time picking up that changeup, and Harrison just threw him another dandy there. So now that's what Harrison's contemplating now. Is this guy just not seeing my changeup? Should I stay with that, or is he going to look for that changeup and try to heat her in?
Line shot into center field. That'll score lead. Michaels comes to the plate. Here's the throw in, and it's cut off. 2-run single for Johnson. 5-0 Astros.
Well, the Red Sox are in town. Pops is probably watching in the hotel going, yeah, that's my boy.
7-game hitting streak for Chris. 34 runs batted in.
Well, he didn't either. He didn't come back with a changeup, nor did he throw the fastball in. He threw him a fastball all over the plate and up a little bit, and CJ jumped all over it. How about that, Wandy? Got yourself a nice cushion now.
We'll have to check back to see the last time a Houston starting pitcher had a lead like this in the 5th inning of a game. Nice line drive to center.
That's a nice approach after pulling off a couple of those changeups. Just don't try to pull it, just stay through it.
4-run frame, and now Clint Barnes, the 8th Astro to bat, is 2 for 2, a double and a single. Four straight have reached base with 2 outs in the inning. And if Beltre makes that play on the Hunter Pence single, no run score in the inning. Line shot left field will go foul. 1-1. With the Marlins win today in Oakland, John Buck had a 2-run double as they beat the A's 5-4.
Way to go, Marlins.
They finished 4-23 in June.
Okay. But they were trending 1 for June there for the longest time.
True. So. Jack McKeon turned that club around. And Mark Ellis, the longtime Oakland A's second baseman, was traded to Colorado for 2 minor leaguers. He was the only player left from the division winning teams of the last decade.
It's interesting how perspective in life changes things. Jack McKeon at 80 years old was willing to leave a comfortable retirement to come and manage a team that had 1 win the entire month of June. Jim Ribbleman, whose team had won like 9 in a row, said, I'm out of here.
Studying contrast there. Andrus at shortstop with the toss to Kinsler. Gets the force play on Johnson from 6-4. And the Astros come up with a 4-run fifth on 3 hits. One very costly error and a man left to lead 5-0 through 5. Action coming your way in the Astros fifth. And here's a play from earlier when Clint Barmas went in the hole, made the off-balance throw to first base. Coors Light Freeze Cam brought to you by the Frost Brews. Coors Light. Torrealba back in the 4th inning as Barmas kept the Rangers off base, and he's been doing a good job also at the plate. 2 hits tonight. Last time the Astros had a 5-0 lead was June 18th at Los Angeles against the Dodgers. They won 7-0, and Wandy Rodriguez was the pitcher. And now he throws ball 1 to Elvis Andrus, who's 2 for 2. One ball, 1 strike. The Astros starting pitchers as a group have won 15 and lost 36 with an ERA of 4.58. They would love more nights like this. 1-2.
Wandy got touched up for 5 runs last time out against Tampa Bay, but in the 4 starts prior, he allowed a total of just 2 earned runs. Total.
Yeah, he had 7 straight quality starts. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
And you know some clubs are going to make a run at him with the trade deadline approaching at the end of July. So one rumor that the Rockies may have interest in Wandy. Yankees probably like to have another lefty in that rotation.
Another foul ball, bit JR. Yeah, very talented left-hander. He would be a commodity certainly on the market.
See, with that curveball, Wandy gets a lot of foul balls like that at home plate. Where hitters hit on top of it, and they come back and they just beat up the catcher. I'd want a Wandy clause in my contract for next year.
Well,
I want a bonus.
Brad Mills was pointing out that there's a comfort zone here with Wandy and J.R. Tolles, but more comfort probably for Wandy than J.R. Those foul balls, especially where he took that last one a few pitches ago. And it's 3-2 now. Tough stretch for Brad Mills. He was being asked by a reporter about something about the malaise on the Astros, and he said, well, I wouldn't use that word to describe it. We're trying. He said, you know, the effort is there. We're putting in extra work. We're putting in a lot of preparation, playing hard. He said, I would not call it a malaise. He was in the right spot. Held his ground, and he got to carry him. That's a leadoff walk to Andrews. Walk number 3 for Rodriguez.
Foul ball into the stands. It's a good study of the human condition. You always got, you know, there's the hero, the guy who's trying to make the play for everybody. There's always a couple of people who are just bailing. They just want out of there.
Like Bo?
Yeah. And there's a guy who's willing to climb over everybody. Old ladies, little kids, knee people in the back of the head, whatever.
Josh Hamilton struck out in the first on a curveball. Then he walked in the third. This one goes to center field, and Michael Bourne is backing. 1 out.
Well, the Astros with this 5-run lead, and a big reason why is because Wandy was able to dodge a bullet in the 3rd inning with the bases loaded and Beltre up there. A very dangerous situation. And he was able to ultimately get Beltre. We'll show you that at bat here, pitch by pitch. And he fell behind him 2-0, and the whole key, probably the biggest pitch of his night right there, that 2-0 curveball to get back into the count. And that gets Beltre a little bit behind the ensuing fastball. Then he crowds him with one and finally gets him to lift that fastball off the plate and up a little bit into right field.
A ground ball. Barmas charges, gets it back behind him. Sanchez with a 1-bounce throw to Lee. Double play. Very slick. As Barmas got to it quickly, tossed behind him, and then Carlos Lee is able to pick the 1-hop throw from Sanchez. 6-4-3, middle of the 6th inning, 5-0 Astros.
Fox Sports Houston brought to you by Gullo Automotive, treating you like family. By Jack in the Box, for a limited time, Jack's Really Big Chicken Sandwich Combo is back for only $3.99 plus tax at participating restaurants. And by your local Texas Ford dealers. Well,
there's strike one as J.R. Tolles leads off the home 6th inning. He is 0 for 2. The Astros lead at 5-0. They've out hit the Rangers 6-3. Rangers have both the errors in this game. It's a 1-ball-1-strike count to Tolles. Pittsburgh won at Toronto today 6-2. Jeff Karsten's going to 6-4 with a win over Brett Cecil. He's 1-3. The Pirates are now 2 games over 500.
Karsten's he's among the top 10 in the league in ERA, isn't he? Last time I checked, he was.
I believe you're right. He's now at 2.65. Sure,
yeah.
He would be. Yeah. 3 balls and a strike. He went 7 solid innings. Brandon Wood hit his 3rd home run. J.P. Arencibia hit number 12 for Toronto. That foul ball goes out of play first base side. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Tolles. Escobar hit number 9 for the Blue Jays. And they are now falling back in the AL East. They're 2 games under 500. Especially with both the Yankees and Red Sox winning today. They're a game further back. 9.5 out. Line drive to right field. Murphy backing on it. Murphy moving around to get that ball for out number 1. He had to turn his body back in the other direction.
Turned out to be anything but routine.
He plays all 3 outfield positions.
He's not fazed by it. He knew he had it all the way.
No snow cone vendor to worry about on this plate. Wandy Rodriguez is bounced out both times. It's out of play for strike 1. Well, the Astros had some guys from the Corpus Christi Hooks who contributed to the South win over the North in the Texas League All-Star game last night. J.D. Martinez, Jimmy Paredes both had hits. Dallas Keuchel had 3 strikeouts, 2 scoreless innings. Bouncer right side to Michael Young. 2 down. And Michael Bourne comes up next. Cody Hinsey has 21 homers for the Lancaster Jethawks in the California League. And he has a .470 on base average this year.
Never been to Lancaster, Brownie?
Never have. How about you?
No, but you know what they do there?
No.
They have their downtown area, their main street. They pipe in new age music.
New age
yeah,
music,
like nice, mellow.
Okay,
It's the mayor's call.
The mayor makes the musical choice.
Well, yeah, he's the one that decided we were going to do this.
Okay,
so if you ever go, if you ever go watch the Astros Lancaster Club, make sure you go downtown and listen to the mellow music.
Liner over third into the left field corner. Michael Bourne, as the ball kicks out towards center, will have an easy double now. And a 9-game hitting streak for Michael. 21st double of the year.
See where Beltre's playing him off the line and tightened up. Michael just rides that ball the other way for a double.
We go to Patty Smith.
Well, guys, I just wanted to chime in talking about Cody Hinsey as Michael Bourne was up. I don't know if a lot of the people know out there that Cody is actually the son of Michael Bourne's high school coach.
Didn't know that.
There's a little fact for you I was able to throw in.
Very good. Thank you. David Bush.
Why, you have a fan club, Patty.
Yeah.
Well, when you have little tidbits and information like that, that's
right.
kind of what cultivates
you
my pack. I used to be a pack of 1. Now I'm a pack of 3.
You have something that no one else has on this crew.
I could say something now, but I won't.
You have
In fact, I have 2.
You have youth.
I think you just did.
But you have youth, Patty.
I have youth. Well, okay. We'll go with that. I don't know. JD and I can't be too far apart.
You had a certain je ne sais quoi.
I think I just lost my je ne sais quoi with my last little statement there, but...
Jenna, she said what?
Strike 1 to Angel Sanchez. He's grounded out 3 times tonight. Bourne got hit number 7 for the Astros. And even with the error on Beltre, all the runs were unearned in the 5th inning, or were earned rather, so that might surprise you a little bit. but that's the misfortune of Harrison, who came into this game with an ERA of 3.00. Fly ball goes to right field, and shallow. Murphy's in, but Kinsler goes out, and Murphy slides with the catch by Kinsler. Took evasive action, and it's no runs a hit and a man left after 6. 5-0 Astros.
Baseball fans, Chevy proud to support youth baseball leagues in your local community. If you'd like to learn more about Chevy youth baseball programs, go to youthsportswired.com. Earlier I talked about this Larry Durker guaranteed win tie. He bought this for me years ago because I'd filled in for him on a bunch of telecasts. And when he was managing, every time the club, had a stretch where they weren't playing too well, I'd pull it out. It had an amazing record. And let's just hope it's still got something left.
All right. Ground out by Michael Young here, leading off the 7th inning. The Astros up 5-0. We'll see if the tie works. Wandy Rodriguez is working. We know that.
He worked hard there in the 2nd and 3rd innings, but he settled in and pitched nicely. And, look at what Myers did last night in 7 innings of 3-run baseball. And basically, the Astros gave up nothing to the Rangers after that home run by Kinsler in the 3rd. They only had 1 base hit after the 3rd inning.
Murphy takes, and it's ball 1 to David. He's 0 for 2. Wilton Lopez, the only reliever to work for the Astros tonight. Last night he had a couple of perfect innings, so that keeps the bullpen fresh for this game. It's 1-1. Roller goes out to shortstop. Barmas charging. Good quick release in the dirt safe. Murphy beats it out for an infield hit. First hit since the 3rd by a Ranger.
And this ball had some funky spin on it. He's out in front of it, hits it off the end of the bat. CJ felt like he couldn't get there and then be in position to make a play on the ball, so he yields to Barmas. And Murphy busting it down the line, gets himself a cheap hit. Well, you're 0 for 2. You'll take any kind of a knock.
Yep. He was legging it. David Carpenter, who just joined the Astros from Oklahoma City last night, is warming up alongside Wilton Lopez in the bullpen. Yorvit Torrealba's 0 for 2. 2 grounders to shortstop tonight.
One more of those, and the Astros will be headed into the dugout. We'll be throwing Cracker Jacks.
Down on a knee. There's the flip, and Barnes turns it into a 4-6-3 double play started by Sanchez. 3rd double play for the Astros tonight. And let's throw out some Cracker Jacks. 5-0 Astros. Harrison leaves after 113 pitches for the Rangers, allowing 7 hits, 5 runs in his 6 innings of work. He walked 2, a hitter batter. He struck out 2. And he's on the hook for loss number 7 of the year unless things reverse. Dave Bush is 0-1 with 1 hold. His ERA is 5.45.
The veteran right-hander. He's got good control. He's walked 9. He's only walked 1 in his last 65 batters faced. Has a tendency to elevate a little bit, though, and he runs into some problems with the home run ball when that happens. Formerly a starting pitcher with the Brewers. Although he worked as a closer in college, was originally a catcher at Wake Forest, then made the move to pitcher. They got a presidential thing going. Harrison and now Bush.
Okay. It's true. Hunter Pence, 357 in his career against Dave Bush, is 1 for 3 tonight. Scored a run after his infield hit in the 5th inning. And that was the key play of that inning. Kept the inning alive with 2 outs. Got him to second on the error by Beltre, with Michael Bourne coming around to score to make it 2-0. And then the inning proceeded after the intentional walk to Lee. Michaels doubled in a run and Johnson singled in 2. Up the middle, and that is on through into center field. Hunter Pence 2 for 4 tonight.
Bush trying to throw a little cutter or slider off the outside corner, but it stayed on the plate, and Hunter able to bang that one right back through the middle.
Bush has walked only 1 of his last 66 batters faced. The hitters usually can come to the plate with assurance that they're going to see something to swing at. Carlos Lee has a homer and 2 walks in this game.
All the runs scored off Harrison were earned, but you certainly could make the case that his defense was responsible for a good chunk of that 4-run inning. Beltre's inability to make the play on Hunter Pence's ground ball, really a key moment in that 5th inning.
Michaels is on deck. 1 ball, 1 strike to El Caballo. Cardinals have completed a 9-6 win in Baltimore.
Puma went deep twice tonight.
He has 20 now. John Jay hit number 6.
Well, Lance was due to go off. He'd kind of fallen off a little bit recently.
Yeah, he slipped below 300 a few points. 2 balls and a strike. And without Albert Pujols now, figures to be a little bit tougher for the other guys, although they did get David Freese back, and he batted behind Berkman again tonight. Berkman was DHing. Jaime Garcia goes to 7-3 with a win over Brian Mattis. He's 1-4. Fernando Salas getting save number 13. Cardinals are tied for first. Liner to left. Hamilton back, leaping in front of the wall. He snags it. We're out number 1 on a well hit liner.
The ball was crunched. Just didn't get the lift on it, or he would have had his 2nd home run of the ball game.
Good work by Hamilton.
You know, he probably could have taken another step and not had to leave his feet, but he wasn't quite sure where the wall was, and because of the nature of that line drive, you don't have time to measure it. You just got to go get the ball.
And he had some padding as he came down. Jason Michaels, he's had a good night. He's 1 for 3 with an RBI, but also lined out to third base. Pence drawing some attention at first. Hunter is 4 for 4 in steals this year. 8 hits for the Astros, 4 for the Rangers. Way outside for ball 1. Yeah, with that Cardinal win and the Milwaukee loss to the Yankees, those two teams have identical 44-38 records to tie for the lead in the NL Central. Cincinnati has the day off. The Reds are 2 games out now, 42-40. Pittsburgh's only 2.5 behind. That's crushed to left field. Michaels hits one a long way, almost into the archway for a 2-run homer. Number 2 of the season for J. Mike, and it's 7-0 Houston. And Brad Mills with a good call to put Michaels in the starting lineup tonight, and Jason has delivered 3 runs batted in.
Bush being greeted rudely here. Single, line out, big fly. A Ranger fan made the play. How ironic.
Yes. And Chris Johnson, Chipa, he ropes one to left. Hamilton leaving his feet. Terrific catch by Josh Hamilton in left field.
Yeah, you know what Spicoli would say? Awesome, Hamilton.
Yeah.
Man, he laid out. Nice play.
CJ, he was 8 for 11 against Bush.
Yeah. Got robbed here when they had a 2-hit night. Hey, Bush is getting tattooed.
Well, you go with the presidential theme, and the Secretary of Defense out there in left field really helps him. And now it's Barmas batting. Barmas 2 for 3. Double and a single for Clint. 7 runs, 9 hits for the Astros now.
I believe it was the always insightful Steve Sparks who said before the ball game the Astros need to get the early lead.
Okay.
The lead didn't come really early, but they scored first.
Yeah.
And then they expanded that lead. So you get into the underbelly of the other team's relief corps. You don't get the guys that are out there in 1-run games with the better stuff. You have a 5-run lead.
No balls, 2 strikes. Well, the Rangers, their bullpen ERA 4.49. That's 12th best in the American League. Might be doing some shifting of relievers as the season progresses here. That's a liner into left center. Andrus couldn't flag it down. Barmas gets hit number 3. Big night for Clint. Mike Maddox is moving. J.R. Tolles will be the batter. He's 0 for 3.
Left-hander warming up now. It's Arthur Rhodes throwing in the Ranger pen. So Mad Dog probably trying to buy a little time for him. Brian Bogusevic has come out under the on-deck circle to hit for Wandy.
Let's go to Greg Lucas.
Time really is running out to vote for your 2011 All-Star selections. You can help send Hunter Pence to the All-Star game by voting up to 25 times at Astros.com. Now you got to log on Astros.com and cast your ballot tonight because the voting ends at 10:59 p.m. Central Time. Plenty of time for everyone in the audience to vote 25 times. But you've got to do it tonight.
Do it now.
Are you down there voting, Greg?
I have voted. I'm not doing it right now.
I'm waiting. Nobody's offered me any money. I'm not just going to vote freely. Somebody's going to have to pay me off.
Oh, man.
My vote is for sale. It's the American way. I'm waiting for some lobbyists to come around.
25,938 the paid attendance tonight at Minute Maid Park.
Pattern follows. He's going to line out to Hamilton.
Fly ball right field line. Murphy coming over. Pattern did not follow, but the Rangers like what happened there, but not previous to that, as the 2-run homer off the bat of Michaels, number 2 of the year for J. Mike, gives the Astros a lead of 7-0 after 7.
summary. The power was back. Carlos Lee got the scoring started. Jason Michaels has zapped it up to 7. And, of course, Wandy is the other story. He has been superb on the mound, not allowing a run. Astros lead it 7-0. A new arm literally on the mound for the Astros. Brownie?
Major league debut for 25-year-old David Carpenter. Brian Bogusevic also in the game. He's in left field. So Jason Michaels had an RBI double and a 2-run homer tonight. 2 for 4, also a lineout. Carpenter was obtained in the Pedro Feliz trade from St. Louis. He had been a catcher. He was converted in 08, drafted in 06 by St. Louis in the 12th round from Morgantown, West Virginia. He went to West Virginia University, and in 06 he was an all Big East catcher. So now he has recast himself as a pitcher, and a very good one. He started this year at AA Corpus Christi, but moved up to AAA Oklahoma City. Made 19 appearances at Oklahoma City with 19 consecutive scoreless innings while collecting 9 saves and fanning 21.
So Dave Bush works, a converted catcher, and now Carpenter, following a similar pattern, makes his major league debut. And take a little extra time out there, big deep breath, and then go get him. And look at those numbers at AAA. The ability to keep the walks down, and then the development of the slider as a secondary pitch. The reason why he's been elevated to the major leagues.
First major league pitch, ball 1 at 93 to Craig Gentry, who's 0 for 2. Carpenter's slider has progressed this season, and Ed Wade was following that closely and decided it was time to give him a shot. And the reason being that Fernando Rodriguez had been sent to Oklahoma City a few days ago to make room for a third catcher. But then when it became apparent that J.R. Tolles was ready to go again, Brian Esposito, that third catcher, was returned. And Rodriguez could not be promoted to the big leagues for 10 days since he had just been sent down. It's somebody different. And that gives Carpenter this shot tonight. He was a Pacific Coast League All-Star.
First few times out in the major leagues, it's just such a surreal feeling. It's something you've done your whole life, or a good chunk of it anyway. You know, he's a little bit different because he had been a catcher turned pitcher, but I imagine he did some pitching as a kid. Don't know that, but that's not really the point. Just when you first put on that big league uniform, it feels so different.
How about that? He opens with a strikeout against his first major league hitter, Gentry.
Yeah, well placed 94-mile-an-hour fastball. This is a good team to join because there are so many young guys already here. I mean, there's rookies all over this Astros roster, and guys that have spent part of this year down in the minor leagues. So there isn't quite the awe factor for a young guy coming to this club than, say, if you had just been called up to the New York Yankees. Well, the star power on that club.
Andy Chavez is the pinch hitter now for the pitcher Bush. Looking at ball 1. Speedy left-handed hitting outfielder at 317 with 2 homers, has 8 runs batted in. As a pinch hitter, he's 1 for 4. He's had 82 at bats. Two balls, no strikes from David Carpenter, who last year pitched at Palm Beach and Lancaster. Had 20 saves at Palm Beach and a 2.36 ERA, striking out 50 in 53 innings there. And Brad Mills was looking for a low pressure type situation for Carpenter to make his first major league appearance.
We're not sure, but we think we've pinpointed the family. It's mom wiping some tears away in that hands clasped prayer mode.
Looks like the
dad's
family.
nervous, twirling the thumb.
Pop backing out of play. 3-2 now. Wandy Rodriguez threw 106 pitches in 7 innings. He allowed 4 hits, all singles. No runs, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts. He got 3 double plays. And he's in line for win number 6 of the year.
Third scoreless outing in his last 4 trips to the bump.
Bogusevic back in left field. 2 outs for Carpenter. And just a few days ago, they were teammates at Oklahoma City. Now teammates for the Major League club. Ian Kinsler is 0 for 2 with a walk tonight. Dave Bush in 1 inning allowed 3 hits, 2 runs with no walks, no strikeouts. Rangers have won 8 straight games here at Minute Maid Park. That ties their second longest streak in a road venue. Their longest was a 13-game winning streak in Seattle from September of '90 through August of '92 at the Kingdome. They like playing indoors on the road, apparently. 1-1.
Like getting out of the heat.
This is also the 8-game winning streak by the Rangers here. That's the second longest active road winning streak for a club. Phillies have won their last 11 at Petco Park in San Diego.
Pretty good looking pitch.
2-1.
David just relying heavily on that good heater. Yeah, it's good enough.
Got a check swing. Nope, he got a swing from Kinsler, and it's 2-2. Jerry Lane rings it up. Astros trying to put a stop to this 8-game home losing streak tonight. The Red Sox coming in this weekend. That's to right field. Hunter Pence backing on it. And a 1-2-3 inning in his Major League debut, and the Carpenter family loves it. What a start. Quite a fine Major League debut by David Carpenter. 1 hitless inning and a strikeout against his first Major League hitter. Now he will be leaving for a pinch hitter here. Matt Downs will be hitting for him in the bottom of the 8th inning against the 41-year-old veteran with his 8th Major League team, Arthur Rhodes.
Started with Baltimore way back in 1991. Team that featured Cal Ripken, Sam Horn, and Glenn Davis.
Wow.
Glenn moving over there, the previous winner in the Finley Schilling Harnish deal. A pretty good deal for the Astros.
Yes, it was.
Glenn got hurt, didn't really do a whole lot in his time with Baltimore.
Rhodes was drafted in the 2nd round by the Orioles in '88.
He's faced a lot of hitters over the years. Velocity down a little bit this year. I think that's been part of the problem for him. Hasn't been a real hard thrower, but velocity down a couple clicks below major league average. It's also affected his slider, which has always been a big pitch for him.
Matt Downs has been a terrific pinch hitter for the Astros. His fly ball goes out to shallow left field. Hamilton coming in, calling off Andrews. One pitch, one out. David Carpenter getting congrats from Doug Brocail. Michael Bourne doubled in the 6th inning to take his hitting streak to 9 games. He was hit by a pitch and scored in the 5th. 1 for 3 tonight. Rangers have Andrews, Hamilton, and Beltre due up in the 9th inning. Wilson Lopez was up earlier for the Astros. That's ball 1 to Michael.
Through 2 innings last night. I'm guessing he was up tonight just in case Carpenter were to have run into trouble and he needed some help getting out of that inning. I suspect it'll be somebody else in the 9th.
There's a left-hander up. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Fernando Abad is working. So is Mark Melancon. Rangers have only been shut out 2 times this season. 2-2.
Michael Bourne leads the club in WAR. Brownie, did you know that?
WAR. Okay. No, I didn't know that.
Better even than Hunter Pence.
What is his WAR?
I don't know, but I was looking at it today. WAR is wins above replacement, and it's a very deep, very involved sabermetric statistic. Basically, that's that's how they determine who the best players in the game are, and they say Michael Bourne's the Astros' best player this year because of the speed and the defense.
Okay.
Coupled with what he's doing at home plate.
Okay.
It takes a look at the whole player statistically. The bases gained with the stolen bases and taking extra bases and the ground he covers in the outfield. And I can't begin to figure it all out.
No. Sounds good, though.
Yeah.
Strikeout for Rhodes, 2 outs. Angel Sanchez is 0 for 4. So the wins above replacement. The replacement player would be what? An average player at that position?
I think it's like a AAA guy.
Oh, okay. Line shot, left field corner. Sanchez turned on that one. Banks it off the scoreboard wall. Barehanded by Hamilton. He fires into second. A double.
I think it kind of is like if you had a team full of these guys, you would win this much above or below the average replacement, something like that.
Okay. That's the 3rd double for the Astros. 4th double. They've also hit 2 homers tonight.
Better busted out of the box with Hamilton out there. He's got a cannon.
8th double for Sanchez this season. Hit number 11. Hunter Pence is 2 for 4. So the Silver Boot will reside over the winter again in Arlington for the 5th straight year. Strike 1 to Hunter. No trophy on the line this weekend when the Red Sox come in.
Let's make one up.
A lot of interesting baseball. Okay. Bud Norris and Tim Wakefield will duel tomorrow night at 7:05.
Chowder series.
What's the state animal of Massachusetts? Do you know?
The state animal of Massachusetts?
1 ball and strike.
The Laborio.
One and one. Not that we have to involve animals in the bat, of course. 1 and 2. Greg Lucas has informed us that he will not be wearing his guaranteed win tie tomorrow night. How about the hairdo? Is that going to stay the same?
I don't know. It'll depend on how I feel. But the tie, you can't use it up. You got to save it for
right. You can't
big
abuse
moments.
it. Yep.
No, you got to.
You're smart to wear it when Wandy was pitching too. That was good thinking.
Well, they might have gone into it.
2 balls, 2 strikes. And the Charlie Sheen look.
Well,
is that coming back?
Okay, I'll tell you what. I'll go with the hair at least another day.
Okay.
With the tie,
All right.
You should be coaching in the NBA or something.
Carlos Lee on deck with a count 2-2. Fly ball is shallow right. Murphy in a few steps. And in the 8th, it's no runs, a hit, and a runner left. Moving to the 9th, 7-0 Astros.
Is brought to you by the Progressive Insurance Group. For a money-saving car insurance quote, call 1-800-PROGRESSIVE today. Kevin Eschenfelder, the post-game show's coming up. What you got?
I certainly hope the post-game show's coming up. We want to invite you to join us. We'll be talking about a victory. At least that's the plan right now. Hear from Brad Mills. Get you ready for that Boston series a whole lot more. I'm going to hear from David Carpenter coming up on the post-game show as well. So stick around. It's coming up immediately following this one. Brownie, keep the Texas Rangers out of the end zone right now. We'll take home a victory. Go back to you.
All right, we'll go back to Sparky, too, with you on the post-game show, Kevin. And now Fernando Abad comes in to pitch the 9th inning with the 7-0 lead. And it'll be Andrus, Hamilton, and Beltre due up for the Texas Rangers here with Abad 1-4, a 6.11 ERA.
This is his second go around with the Astros. Spent some time down on the farm after getting off to a slow start, and has come back and pitched 4 times. And for the most part has been effective. He allowed a solo home run to Tampa Bay the other day to Upton. Struggled with his command earlier, and he's been throwing strikes.
First man he faces, Elvis Andrus, has returned to the lineup tonight after a few days out with a sprained left wrist, and he has 2 hits and a walk. Also stole 2 bases in the first inning. There's strike 1 to him. And as he got to third base, he was stranded there in the first, and Kinsler reached third base in the third. He's the last guy to get that far for the Rangers. Their 4 hits have all been singles, and they've received 3 walks in the game. 1-1. Let's see, the state insect of Massachusetts is the ladybug, so we can't get a bet going on that. 1-2. The state horse, though, is the Morgan horse, and the state game bird is the wild turkey. State dog is the Boston Terrier.
Of course. State dessert would be the Boston cream pie.
State tree is the American elm, and the state bean is the navy bean.
Really? I would have gone with the Boston baked bean.
Well, it's used in Boston baked bean.
Oh, okay. There you go.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
Any reference to the Boston Strangler on there?
No.
You got a state criminal?
Nothing.
No, nothing there.
The state folk hero is Johnny Appleseed.
That's a good folk hero right there.
Yeah. State fossil is the dinosaur.
That would have been Tim Wakefield.
Brian Bogusevic with a good catch and left on the Andrews line.
They're probably in. They're probably in already, but he's got to pitch tomorrow. He's not watching this game.
No. He's deep in thought right now. Good play by Bogusevic.
Just jealous because I didn't pitch till I was 50. Andrews had a nice night. Ironically, his hits were much softer than that out.
True. Josh Hamilton's 0 for 2 with a walk. Ball 1 to Josh. Two balls, no strikes. Well, the Red Sox will take the field tomorrow night with a 46-34 record. They stopped their 2-game losing streak in Philly today. And of course, a lot of people were making that out to be a World Series preview. 2 balls, a strike. But it's the Yankees who have the best winning percentage in the American League right now. 2-hopper Sanchez over the lead. 2 out.
In all likelihood, both those clubs get in, right? One of them wins the division, the other one picks up the wild card.
Sure,
There's no guarantee, of course. Tampa Bay's only 3.5 out.
All right.
They got a good club.
They do. Trade season coming up in July. Now Brad Mills comes out. Beltre will be due up next, and he wants a right-hander. Mark Melanson is coming in. Not that it's a save situation, but that Melanson needs to pitch. 7-0 Houston. Back in a moment. Major League Baseball All-Star Game history. Go to MLB.com/moments and vote now for your favorite Midsummer Classics. And tune into the 2011 MLB All-Star Game on Tuesday, July 12th at 7 p.m. Central on Fox to find out who won. Selection show is coming up 11 a.m. Sunday. So we'll be watching that, see which Astros and all the other guys who are headed for the game. Then there will be that fan vote in for the final spot. All set to watch. Mark Melanson is 5-1, 6 saves in 9 opportunities. His last outing was here Sunday in the 14-10 loss to Tampa Bay. JD.
Yeah, he allowed 5 runs and 6 hits in an inning and a third. And that was coming after 3 days off, and so he's got 3 days off again. And Brad Mills wanted to make sure he got him out there just to get on the mound and face a hopefully one hitter. That's always the challenge with the closer. You know, you don't want to wear him out, but you got to find a way to get him some work, even in non-safe situations. So he's sharp at his best when you need him to hold on to a tight lead.
Beltre with a grounder, rolls out to Sanchez. 2 pitches, that does it for Melanson, and the Astros team up for their 4th shutout win of the season, their 3rd at home, and they snapped the 8-game home losing streak. They're now 14-30 in this ballpark. They did it with a homer from Carlos Lee, another one from Jason Michaels. They win it 7-0 over Texas tonight.